Well, my favorite moment was when we realized that the pandemic created an opportunity rather than creating a real problem. We took the opportunity to do things that we had been talking about for years but never got around to, and that is moving out into the community, meeting the people where they are, attracting people from different areas of our county, presenting different kinds of programs than just classical music. It was wonderful to see the board come together and say, we're going to make this work, rather than, oh no, what's going to happen now that the pandemic's come and we can't do the things we've done before. My most favorite event was the saxophone quartet at Spinker Winery, because it combined members of our board with casual visitors to the winery in a performance that was most enjoyable. The performers, the saxophone players, all spoke about themselves and about the music in a casual way that engaged everybody. And the winery was a wonderful venue, and they were very generous to let us use it. There were many other similar kinds of events that were done at people's homes, so-called pop-up concerts, that I got to see on a delayed basis that were also very enjoyable. I'm a classic music lover, and I'm looking forward to getting back to classic music concerts in this venue, but I'm also looking forward to involving more people than we've had sitting in these seats by having concerts in other locations, in Tracy, possibly in Linden, in Lodi. These will be ways to engage people that know about us but haven't been coming. And if we go to them, they may then come to us when they realize how wonderful the Stockton Symphony is.
I think my favorite moment from last year was when I realized that the symphony was going to not just survive but thrive, and in some ways be a better organization because of the changes that and new programs that we developed because of our need to change, because of COVID. And among those, I think my favorite example would be the Magic of Music program. In the past, we've reached out to thousands of young people through our Steppin' Out program, but we weren't able to do that this year. So instead, we reached out to small groups of young people with ensembles where the participants were the musicians and the kids could really interact on a closer level. They could ask questions of the musicians, they could see how the musicians were working together, how important teamwork is in music as well as other aspects. And what I'm looking forward to, I think, in the coming season is, first of all, returning to somewhat the new normal, being able to attend concerts. But I'm also looking forward to continuing some of these new programs and expanding them and refining them in ways that we've been wanting to do for years, and just because we haven't had the necessity to do them, they've been on the back burner, and now we're actually doing them.
Well, being a brass player, I think my favorite moment was being able to hear the brass quintet in Lodi. Just spontaneously on the street of downtown Lodi, and there was our brass quintet with an additional drummer, and I really enjoyed that. It was good to see my friends. There were just people walking down the street exposed to musicians from the symphony. It was great. Well, I'm really looking forward to the performances that we'll have outside of Stockton. Being again in Lodi and performing again in Tracy and some other areas where we have been in the past but haven't been there for many years. So I'm looking forward to those performances around the county. One thing that this last year has shown, it's broken down the barrier that as a musician, just always seems that we have this barrier between the orchestra and the audience. Orchestra members are dressed up in a tuxedo, and there's a distance to the audience. And it was nice to see the interaction between the musicians performing in small venues and the audience.
Preparing for a school show or outreach show, it really involves a lot more than just playing the piece. So in that way, it takes a little more preparation, maybe, because you have to prepare the learning material, teaching material, as well as the piece. I have actually done this kind of shows for last 5 years, and I have produced many shows like this to present in school environments. So yeah, just, you know, it was really fun to come up with ideas and just yeah, making the script and rehearsing. It was fun.
A lot of times, I mean, when I tell people I play the marimba, they'll say, "Whoa, what's a marimba?" And, you know, I kind of have to say, well, it's like a really big xylophone. Because most people know what a xylophone is, and when they think of a xylophone, they think of the little tiny ones that they had as a kid with just the single mallet that's got a string attached to it so you don't lose it, right? But, you know, certainly this is a different beast, and takes a lot of training. Anytime you play with another musician, there's always give and take. We each have our own way that we practice individually, and that's influenced by, you know, maybe recordings that we've listened to or the tempos that are marked on the piece. But once you get with another person, right, you need to be flexible because we each have our own dance that we want to do, right? And we're trying to kind of pull each other a little bit.
It's actually my favorite moment was when we had our small ensemble perform for the first time. There were many times after that that were equally exciting, but that first time was really so fantastic because for the first time, we actually got to hear from the musicians. They talked about themselves, they talked about their backgrounds, they talked about the piece that they were going to play and that they had picked out. It was really wonderful and a very lovely setting. And then they just continued to get better, actually. I remember the one at the winery, and it was terrific. Another very lovely setting. It just made things feel so much more intimate and like you really knew the players. And that's, of course, what it's called, Meet the Players. Of course, all of us would like to be back here in the concert hall, but maybe not in exactly the same way that we've been in the past, where everybody has his or her individual seat and sits there the whole season. But maybe we do some things that are a little bit different. And also that we be able to continue to do some of these smaller gatherings or even large gatherings out in our community. This is a really big county, and we really need to work on audience development. And what we're finding is that people are not going to just automatically come to us. We have to go to them. And so I'm very excited about that and the possibilities that promises to bring. We have so many people to thank for their support over this last time. All of our staff, the players, but really the people who have supported us financially. They've donated their tickets, they've given us money, they've come to our events, they've lent us their facilities, they've offered to do things for us. it's just endless, the number of friends that I think we didn't even know we had. And now we realize that we're a lot more important to people than maybe we even thought. I think we always thought we were pretty important, but now we really know that we're important to so many more people. I guess I'm just really hopeful about this next year, and that we can continue doing all the things that we've been kind of dreaming of doing. I think we've got a great CEO, a great music director, a great staff, small though it is, and everybody's just really excited about moving on. So am I.